Released all the way back in May 24th of 2018, Dark Saviors is a set that I was extremely excited for as soon as I saw the announcements. With the introduction of the new cool vampire cards that actually made the archetype pretty fun to play, with For Hires, a deck I will get around to since I'm the Knight for Hire, but of course, who could forget the current dominating deck that is Sky Strikers. I knew I was going to want to play Sky Strikers as soon as I saw the release images for this archetype. I love Mecha. I love cute girls. How can you go wrong with cute Mecha girls? Everybody knows what this deck does. Everybody knows how much of a pain it can be. So let's just get right into it and make this pretty quick. Alright, here we are on the profile screen. This is the deck that I was running, including the one card that we will address here in a little bit. So, as a disclaimer, this was built and recorded pre-September 2018 ban list. So, take that with what you will. Now, what I'm running is, of course, your 3 Brandish Maiden Rays, 1 Raigeki, 2 cards that aren't out yet, Vectored Blast, 3 Jamming Waves, 1 Reinforcement of the Army, 3 Foolish Burial Goods, 3 Bandish Startup Engages, or Mobilize Engage in the TCG. You got your Upstart Goblin, your Metal Foes Fusion, 3 Afterburners, 1 Mystical Space Typhoon, 3 Eagle Boosters, 1 Shark Cannon, 2 Hornet Bits, 3 Widow Anchors. You got your 1 multi-roll that I'm running. Got your Hercules base, your Brandish Aerospace, Aero Zero, Airspace Area. You can read it. 2 Drowning Mirror Forces, 2 Solemn Strikes. Now I'm not running a full 15. I normally do build out a full 15. But for this, the main things, and you'll see in the video itself for the replays, I basically never go into higher levels of my extra deck. You honestly should. There are a lot of good extra deck stuff that you can use, especially in the Link monster areas. But I play pretty pure Sky Strikers, although I do have some of the Nightmares because they can be good spot removal if needed. Now, the extra deck is of course filled with alternative options to run. Instead of running the Drowning, you could run Storming. If you want to play more competitive, you can play with the Hand Traps. Darkest Diabolus makes a great beater. This allows you to Link climb a lot faster. Hand Traps, higher levels of Link plays. The Tune Engine, so run 3 Tune Table of Contents, and then something, if I was to make a suggestion for it, I would personally run your Toon World, because you can put it face down and then blow it up using Area Zero, or multi-roll to trigger their effects. But besides that, it's pretty simple, pretty fun. The reason why we're playing 3 Jamming Waves and 3 Afterburners is this is a control-style deck build. You're going to be doing a lot of blowing up and picking apart your opponent's board. As such, you are not going to be necessarily reoccurring as much with Kagari, as much as you're going to be continuously searching to accrue advantage to continue blowing up their board. So now, if you'll give me one wonderful second here, I'm going to show you my current build. Alright, said here we were going to do it, so here we are. I'm going to go ahead and show my actual build I actually run in real life, which is the modified version of the deck you see online. The only difference being, of course, the extra deck, which we will get to. So, first off, let's hit our complex monster lineup here. Of course, that's just 3 Sky Striker Rays. There's really no need. I don't really run anything else. I don't really run for beaters. I run a control game, so I don't really need to run anything else besides the 3 of them. And that's it for my monster lineup. That is it. No fancy techs or anything. Just those 3. And then, of course, next up, you're going to want to run for your 3 engages. I know they're expensive. I pulled mine. I got lucky. But they make everything go. Still, of course, running the 3 afterburners and the 3 jamming waves. Again, a lot of decks only run 1 of each. I'm running all 3 because it's a very big control and you want to pick apart your opponent's board. And you have no beaters to do it. 3 Widow Anchors, one of the best cards in the deck. Eagle Boosters to protect normally your 1 Sky Striker monster, usually Kagari or Shizuku. 3 Foolish Burial Goods. These are to send each other off to get you up to 3, or to send off Heavy Metal Fusion to get you some draws. Now for some 2-ofs, I'm running the 2 module multi-rolls just in case one gets blown up. It's really useful for running the deck as a whole. I'm running 2 Shark Cannons. It's great against Burning Abyss. It's great against all sorts of shenanigans that involve the graveyard. 2 Arrow Zeros. I hear the cat coming to interrupt me. Again, kind of the same principle. If one gets blown up, you can get the other. It's not that important to the deck, and both this and the Shark Cannon can easily be taken out for other cards. Moving on. 2 Hercules base. They're really good for recurring your Link monsters or some of your other stuff if you want to search off of it. Whole reason to run it. For 1-ofs, we've got our 1 Hornet Drone, because unfortunately it got hit. Which I say unfortunately, but I was excited for it. Really hurts the engine as a whole. But, gotta do what we gotta do. And it got hit to 1. 1 Raigeki. 1 Metal Foes Fusion. You can either destroy it off of multi-roll, or you can destroy it off of Error 0 to get your plays going, or to keep your plays from being negated. And it allows you to draw cards. So, or you can send it off the Burial Goods to draw cards. Anything to draw more cards. Reinforcement of the Army goes and helps you get your Ray. And with Hornet Drones down, you definitely need it anyway. So, the last card here, that is a replacement card here, because I've got more cards obviously, is Card Destruction. This is an experimental card. I'm happy to see it is kind of getting some play in other areas besides my own. But it's really useful because you can set what you want to keep, and then you can blow up all of your hand, your opponent's hand, draw cards, and anything that gets thrown in your graveyard. Just going to get you to your spells. Mystical Space Typhoon. This is one of 2 cards in the whole deck that's not a foil, unfortunately. But this is just really good for popping your opponent's stuff on their turn. That's the one weakness of Jamming Waves. The Jamming Waves has to be set. And this is easily replaceable with Twin Twisters. I just haven't bought a Twin Twisters to put in yet. When I buy when I buy something, I'm not going to buy a foil Mystical Space. I'm going to get a Twin Twister, especially since they're down in price. And last but not least, for spells, you've got Upstart Goblin. I mean, it just lets you draw a card, and it's a spell card to drop into your deck. And that's all I'm currently running for spells and everything. You've already seen on the first part of the deck profile what you can run. And for traps, 2 Solemn Strikes. It's just really good for stopping your opponent. And I'm still running Drowning Mirror Force, although I am debating about switching it out for Storming. Now, for the extra deck, again, I highly recommend that people expand their extra decks way more than mine is. I just typically play Pure and a little too close to Pure. Obviously, you're going to want all 3 of those. Keep getting out of frame. Not lined up quite correctly. Anyways, you want all 3 Kagaris. They're way too good. I wish I had ultis, because she's just that good. She's that good. Your consistency booster, which you could easily drop down probably to 1 or 2 and put in some more better Link monsters, is Yate. She's great to get you going, but after you get going, you typically don't want to use her too often in this build. And your other nice little playmaker, Shizuku. She's just great early game, and she's great for dropping down monsters, so you can try to handle them a little bit better, or take less damage. All around, she's really good. She may not be as good as Kagari, but still a strong card. Again, you can run Nightmares. Nightmares really well and run well in this deck. And you can run 3s and 5s to try to get up. It's a little harder with Hornet Drones down, but players are creative, and I'm sure you can figure out how you want to go with your build.
It's time to
is